everybody. Thanks for joining. This is SOUL-utions, a book review show for mind readers. I am Julia, Hummingbird Jewel, and my mission statement is to teach love by being an example of love. And what better way than to introduce authors and their soulful books. And today we have Kornelia Stephanie, and her book is Peace, a Flip Side to Anger. Also, every show we dedicate to a cause, and I asked Kornelia what her chosen cause would be today, and she chose the Peace Alliance. Now, their mission statement was very, very long, so I found their short mission statement, and that is to empower civic action through a culture of peace. And I'll put their links to their Facebook page and to their website so that you can check out this beautiful cause. Okay, so Kornelia Stephanie, she's a philanthropist, influencer, co-creator of Heaven on Earth, and she embodies soul source embodiment is her greatest accomplishment. She has a consulting business, coaching and consulting business, and helps conscious entrepreneurs to be seen and heard while they lift and empower themselves. And she does this through a platform of Transformation Talk Radio, where she hosts many shows, and we're going to let her tell us more about that. Also, she has this beautiful website, KorneliaStephanie.com. You need to go there because there's so much more to this woman. She is an amazing person. And you know, if you ever thought about psychiatrists go to psychiatrists, car repair people go to car repair places? Of course they do. Do coaches and psychics utilize other coaches? And yes, they do. And she is my mentor, my coach, and I'm so proud to introduce her. Hi, Kornelia.
Hi, Julia. Hi. Thank you so much for having me. Hello, everyone. What a beautiful, beautiful place. Namaste. Thank you.
So on your website, I always like to speak to the author's events. And you do personal coaching and you do speaking events, but you do these worldwide retreats. I'm always loving to hear about them. Can you tell us about these retreats, when the next one is, and what happens when we go to one of them?
Well, the next retreat, this one is going to be really, really special, and it was strategically planned. This retreat is in Costa Rica of 2020, and it's on April the 18th to April the 25th. And the reason why I chose Costa Rica is because we are moving into a time in our life where we are really looking on how to live a pure life. What does it mean to live a pure life? And the moment that you land in Costa Rica, you get greeted at the airport by the guides that greet you that say Pura Vida. And
they do?
Yes, they do.
Oh.
And Pura Vida means pure life. So everywhere you go while you're in Costa Rica, you're going to be greeted with this message, Pura Vida, pure life. And 2020 is a year master builder. 2020, if you take and you look at the year 2020 and you look at the number 22, number 22 is the year of a master builder. And we are all moving into that vibration of building our legacies. What are they? Building our new foundations. What are they? What are we laying them down on as far as, is it pure? Do we still have luggage and baggage that we're carrying from the past? So 2020 is that year, a master builder year, because if you think about 2020 and where you want to be in 10 years from now, you know, you have unlimited possibilities to really, really expand into your sovereignty and build a life that you can truly be proud of. The life that you're actually dreamt of before you were born into the one that you're clearing. It's that life, right? It's that life. And 2020 is the time to build that and do that. So I created the retreat. It's called the Happiness Retreat.
Oh.
And it's because, you know, happiness, to really define on what it means to be happy, in the moment, in each moment, and to have an environment like Costa Rica and the 5 people, which is going to be 13 people that are there to support you in mimicking what it means to really be in a sacred environment. And so the retreat is about tapping into your soul. Who am I? Where am I going? How far have I traveled? What is it that I want to create? And part of us going into retreat, it's stepping away from your environment.
Yes.
Stepping away from your life so that you can really tap into your soul's essence to find out what he or she really wants to experience and embody this life. I heard you introduce me in the introduction as a soul source embodiment. And that's exactly what we're all here to do. And that is to realize our fullest, greatest potential of our soul. But we have to make the environment, we have to make the time, we have to be curious enough to find out, what does the soul want? So that's part of the retreat that we are going to be grounding this energy in. We're going to be answering those questions. And we're going to have so much fun in Costa Rica because there's so much wildlife, so many
hummingbirds.
Right? Yeah, hummingbirds. Yeah. There's so many beautiful plant life, so much amazing, nature experience that we're going to be involved in. The workshops are only going to be 2 hours a day, and the rest is going to be activities that are going to be included. So for your audience, I just want to let you know, if there's anyone here that's listening to this that feels excited about this, go to my website at korneliastephanie.com, and there's a link that says Evolve. And then underneath that, there should be a link there that says Costa Rica, and click on that, or private message me on radio at korneliastephanie.com, and I will give you a private invitation to what this retreat is about. You can look at it, the daily itinerary on my website. And I want you to know the retreat is only $2,500. It's $2,500 to really get clear on what it is that you want to build in your life, how to gain spiritual confidence, to really tap into your soul's essence, and to come back into your life then to know exactly what it is that you want to build, what it is that you want to do. So, and $500 holds your spot. So it's an easy way to do it.
That is so amazing. And I just wrote a blog on the the law of cause and effect. And I was really honing in on, we have to take the time to have strategies for our lives. Otherwise, you're just led along. Like somebody might as well just pull you through your life, or with a blindfold on. We have the power of free will, but you do got to step away from your everyday grind sometimes and just center. And it's so much easier to do that when you go on a retreat. And also, it's so nice for single people too. I was single and traveled alone for so many years, and it's a safe place to go. And if you're single or if you're with a couple, but I just love hearing about that. And you're going to Thailand too, aren't you?
Thailand is going to also be happening, next year in I think it's in October. So yeah, and then there's Greece that's on the books in 2021. So I've been facilitating retreats since 2012.
That's amazing.
And I absolutely, this is the place where I create an environment for each person to come in so that they can feel safe and discover what it is that they're wanting to experience next, right? And ground that in. And right now in 2020, being a master builder year, it's really, really important that you have that spiritual strong foundation, that you're not walking around with a heavy heart, that you released, the wounds of our past, right? Because one of the things is, Julia, you said it, is that we have to make time. And my mission, my passion is that I champion humanity's sovereignty. And that is to be the authority over your own life as an empowered creator. And the only way you can do that is if you are making the time for yourself to know what things mean to you, to know what your core values are, to know what it means to you to live in freedom, to know what it means to you to live free from the matrix, to know what it means to you to live in an abundance of love, an unconditional love for the self, to know and to live those core values out, because that's the new earth. That's the new paradigm. That's the magical universe that we are creating, but we have to make the time in order to do it. And there's no better place than to be in a beautiful environment in Costa Rica, where you're greeted with purity and happiness and joy, and to be with other people that are also focusing on the same goal. It's a magnificent time. It's a magnificent time to be alive. And it's a magnificent time for all of us to come together, to support each other, to thrive in the abundance, to live in our abundance and our prosperity on who it is that we came here to be.
Well, I know of one other better place that could be for spiritual entrepreneurs or conscious entrepreneurs, because I've had the benefit of that. And I know this is a book show and we will get to the book, I promise. But can you please talk a little bit about the radio platform and what you offer there? Because I have been benefiting from this experience, and I just want you to, quickly share a little bit about what you do, how you help entrepreneurs, and how they don't even have to have everything all together. Like, you can help them from the bottom on up. Can you speak to the radio shows just a little, please?
Sure. It's an honor and a pleasure to speak about this. So let's just say you're an entrepreneur and you have a message, but you don't have a website yet. You don't have it all together and you don't know. Or you already have a website and you already have all of that together, but you're not using radio, podcasting, and voice messaging in order to get your message across. And that is a key piece for the golden era of communication that we're moving into now. Every single entrepreneur must have a podcast, must be on radio to communicate their message and have their information available to the audience in this digital age that we're moving into. And so I have a platform at Transformation Talk Radio out of Seattle, where I help entrepreneurs that are in the educational field, that are, in the financial field, or that are in the spiritual field, or that are in the entrepreneur field, that have messages to share with people, but they just don't know how to get that message across. So I bring them into my platform and I allow them to co-host together with me and the momentum that I've already created. And then all of a sudden they are placed to 50 media outlets, along with a movement that I've already created to help them get going. And the goal is to teach them how to podcast, teach them how to get their message out, generate a huge movement, a huge excitement, and then turn them loose so that they can use the radio, digital, voice, media way to get your message out, because this is the age of the entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are rising everywhere, and your message needs to be out there so that the consumers can look at your message and that they can choose to purchase what it is that you have to offer. And we have to deliver, and we have to be in so many places. Radio podcasting is a huge market, much more so than television, much more so than any other place. Radio is going to expand and explode. And if you're not podcasting, and if you don't have your message out there, contact me at Kornelia Stephanie, or email me at radio@Kornelia Stephanie. Julia has been with the network now for this is going to be her third show.
This Friday.
It's amazing what's happened is she's really been able to get clear on what it is that she's offering and help with articulating her message. The book show has launched because of that, and she's getting more visible, gaining more visibility through her YouTube channel and all these things. And it takes a while for people to know about you and to trust you and to tune into you. And that's the reason why it benefits people to partner together with me, because I'm already established, and Transformation Talk Radio it has a website that gets over 4 million hits per month. And so not only are you promoted and advertised in my network, you're also promoted and advertised on Transformation Talk Radio Network. So the time for the lone wolf and the lone ranger doing it all by yourself is over, because we are here building a new paradigm that is generated from pure love, from connection and communication, heart-to-heart connections. And we have to passionately, just like you see me doing right now, passionately promote, sell, share. Sharing is caring. Sharing our message, sharing our products, sharing what it is that we're doing to make the world a better place.
Yeah. Okay, now you get to share your book.
Awesome.
So one thing about Kornelia, I mean, you see this beautiful, wonderful, established woman and all these things that she's accomplished in her life. Well, in her book, she'll describe a little bit about her childhood, her upbringing, and I'd just like you to speak a little bit to your upbringing, because it wasn't exactly the Beaver Cleaver environment, and a lot of us have had, difficult upbringings, but how did that influence you? And can you speak a little bit about that?
So my upbringing was a very dysfunctional family. I was born to an alcoholic mother, an absent father that was gone, and my mother she was the man in the house, so she wasn't receiving child support. So early on, I was the one that was put in charge of taking care of the household, taking care of my mother, taking care of everybody in the household. My mom told me that I'm her person, so I was kind of like the wife, the mother, and I had to as a child, I had to put my own emotional needs aside so that I can take care of the family. And so I didn't get a chance to be a kid. And throughout that time, I was also emotionally abused, and I was sexually abused. And I saw my mother go through a lot of abuse, where she was always looking for a person to help her, a man to marry, so that she could find somebody to help her take care of her children. And so and when you're looking from that place, and if you're clearing, then you're attracting the wrong people. And so there was a lot of abuse. My mother got beaten, and there was a lot of violence and a lot of abuse, which is the reason why I wrote the book, Peace, the Flip Side to Anger, how I used my emotions to heal my life and my body, and how you can too, is the book, because I was exposed to violence all my life. And how can we have heaven on earth, peace on earth, if we don't heal our violent behavior, if we don't heal our violent communication, if we don't heal and recover from that? So that was pretty much my upbringing, witnessing that. And then I had my own period of self-destruction, of, not feeling good enough, going into drug abuse. I was a suicidal soul. You heard me talk earlier about the soul. And my soul came in with the wound of suicide. So, and suicide, right, is the last thing that a soul wants to do. It's like the thing that's written into a contract that's like, if that's the only way out, it's an out. But I came here to heal from this. And it's a miracle that I'm alive today. My angels and my guides have intervened many, many times to keep me here and to keep me alive. And because I tried to commit suicide so many times. But my last time was in September 17th of 1993, when I had an experience of holy grace enter my field of existence. And once I had that, it has never been the same again. So that is actually when the feeling paradigm was born in my existence, and also many people that were born into that time period in between 1987, or not born into that time period, but that had that work to do between 1987 and 1993. I was actually running behind, because in 1987 was the harmonic conversions, and that's when many light workers on the earth were called together to call in this new ushering in of peace, the harmonic convergence. And I didn't surrender to it until 1993. So from 1987 to 1993, I was still in addiction, and I almost didn't make it. So the fact that I'm alive and that I'm here is a miracle in itself, because I had self-hatred at my core. So to go from a place from hating myself to healing this core wound of wanting to commit suicide, always looking for a place, to wanting to be at home, to go home, to want to be nurtured, to want to be loved, to a place where I am today, living in a magical universe and unconditionally loving myself. This is our work as shamans. I feel like all the people that are here on this planet are all here to self-heal, to self-love, and to return and remember the truth of who they are. And that is in the image and the likeness of the One. And we're all here awakening to remember to the truth of who we are. And it's our job right now. It takes a lot of courage to walk this spiritual journey. It takes, as a mystic myself, is to take one step at a time and to face the shadows, to face the shadow self that was once so frightened to be alive and to be here, and to bring love at every turn and at every cost. That is what it is that we're here to do. And I feel like if I can do it, a person that hated myself and a person that was very active in wanting to commit suicide many times and failed, it's magical.
Yeah. How can we identify our emotional core wounds, though? I mean, sometimes, like, I don't even know if I remember them, but I feel like they're there, and then I'll get maybe a glimpse. Is there something you do to help identify?
Yes. So if you're triggered, you get triggered by anything or anyone, and you look at how it makes you feel. So let's just say, for instance, the boyfriend or the husband is continuously playing out a part of abandoning you,
Right.
where the person doesn't show up for you. So then all of a sudden you're triggered emotionally, and you're saying, I feel abandoned. So that was the part, that's an emotional part that you want to heal, the core wound of abandonment. And once the core wound of abandonment in this place of duality, that we're here experiencing the duality, once the abandonment is healed, and the way that you heal the abandonment is by bringing your consciousness of unconditional love, 0 point energy, the highest energy of God source presence right here, right now, into that space, and saying that you will never, ever, ever abandon yourself again. That's the way to begin. So abandonment is a core wound. And what's the opposite of abandonment is feeling safe. That's the opposite of abandonment. So each core wound, I'll break them down really quick what they are, but each core wound has an opposite to it, because duality is here, and we're here to experience, to feel, to release all the old, transcend all the old, as shamans, as healers, as psychics, as whatever you want to call yourself, mystic, whatever. I feel like all the people that are on this earth are all acupuncture needles on the planet. Each person is an acupuncture needle, releasing and letting go what's no longer serving them, so that they can move into a higher vibrational way of living and being. Abandonment is one. Betrayal is another. The opposite of betrayal is trust. So if you haven't cleared the core wound of betrayal, where would it show up? It would show up in your relationships. Right. It would show up with possibly feeling betrayed by God, that you never get what it is that you deserve, that you feel that you deserve, or that you always feel betrayed by life. When is it going to be your turn? When is it going to be your turn? So you bringing that consciousness, the unconditional love, the acceptance of source, of God, into that present moment, and trusting yourself, trusting the divine, really trusting the divine, really trusting life, and asking yourself, do I trust God? Do I trust source? Do I trust life? Do I trust myself? Do I trust the choices and decisions I make? So the opposite of trust is betrayal. Once that emotional core wound is cleared, it's gone. It's gone. So that's the reason why it's really, really important to heal the emotional core wounds. The next wound is unworthy, not good enough. Feeling unworthy, not good enough. It is when you are devalued in your experience by any person that you have a relationship with, whether that's in your business, whether that's in your personal relationships. Generally, it's in the personal relationships, and also our money is tied to it, our value, right? But so what's the opposite of not feeling good enough is worthy. I am worthy. And if you were to look up on Google, what does it mean to be worthy? That means that you are a being that deserves, that is worthy of respect, that is worthy of honor. And what's the opposite of not worthy? That means no respect, no honor. And can you believe that there's people out there every single day, like I used to, that make decisions every single day that is a thought that's attached to a thought, that's attached to an emotion, that's attached to a belief that I'm not good enough, and that they make choices that reflect that belief, because everyone is worthy. But it's you, only you, that can deem yourself worthy or not. You have to be the one to choose that worthiness. You have to be the one to make the decision on that truth. Because think about it, in the image and the likeness of the one, is God worthy? Is source worthy? You are one and the same. There is no separation, which is another core wound. Okay. This is another core wound. But let me.
Great question. I love this answer.
Okay, so one more core wound is shame. Shame is another big, huge core wound. And Julia, you're in my generation. We grew up with shame on you.
Oh yeah.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame to be so shiny. Shame to receive so much abundance. Shame to be so beautiful. Shame to have so much authority and so much power in your life. Shame on you. So we grew up with that shame.
Sure.
And so what's the opposite of the shame is shine. So once it's the dual wounds. And once we release the shame, and we only come from the place of truth, and that is to shine our light as bright as we can, to give others permission to do the same, just like you're seeing me do right here, right now, just like Julia is doing, shining our light. That's what we need to do so that others can awaken. And tell yourself from this day forward to never say to anyone again, shame on you, and no shame on yourself. Shame is tar. And if, what's his name? The Power of Force. Do you know who wrote The Power of Force? What's his name? He talked about shame on a vibrational scale. It is the lowest vibrational. It vibrates at a frequency of 30 megahertz. David Lawson, no, not David Lawson, but you know what I mean. So shame vibrates at such a low frequency, and it's tar. And some of us have had tar on our souls. We have had tar on our hearts. We have had tars in our physical body, in our vibrational field. So releasing that shame. Don't speak words like shame on you, shame on me. That you want to shine on you. You want to project shining on everyone, including yourself, every living thing. So how much time do I have?
We have 1 minute. It's a shorter show. She's used to an hour. We got 30 minutes. So I just wanted to speak to your book, because a lot of authors will tell their story and they'll have some fluff, but she, in her book, has solutions for you. She has a complete toolkit in this book. You need to buy this book. It's one of those books that are alive a little bit. Thank you. I don't have the hard copy. There she is. And the information that's in there, I'm just processing it because I've only read it once. I just finished it this last week. I started it a little while back, but it's an amazing piece of literature, and it's what I would call a book that's alive. So as you change and as you grow and as you would pick it up again and reread it, it'll seem like it's a new, like, did I really read this? So that's what I call a book that's alive. Cornelia, thank you so much for coming onto the show. Do you have just a few short last words to say to the audience? You want to close it out?
Yes, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, for listening, and join our tribe. Join us on Transformation Talk Radio. Listen to the shows that Julia is doing. She's offering readings. There's many shows that we're rolling out as far as how to change your financial trajectory, and there's so many wonderful ways. Follow us on Transformation Talk Radio. Contact me on YouTube. Yeah. And contact us and come and join our tribe, join our community, and let us make the world a better place together.
Please reach out to Cornelia. She's an amazing person. Thank you, everybody. I so appreciate you joining me, and I love you, Cornelia, and bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.